Hello and welcome back to My House Book Club, where we talk about a different book or series and hopefully get encouraged to keep on reading. My name is Maya and my mission is to fill in the gaps in my reading, meaning I'll mostly be reading classics but also some lesser known books too, and I hope you'll take part in the conversation. Alright! Today, let's talk about The Thief Lord. This is my second time reading it. I read it last around 15 years ago. For context, I'm turning 27 this year, and I'd like to share the two perspectives that I have of this story now. And this time around, my whole review/analysis will be spoiler-free. Now, why is this story interesting? Because the plot is about a group of children surviving in the magical city of Venice, all carrying their own story of how they ended up in the group and their mysterious leader, the Thief Lord, who provides for them by stealing. One problem the group faces is that brothers Prosper and Beau have to hide from their aunt, who, after their mother's death, is meant to adopt them, but wants to separate the two tight-knit brothers. Things in the group take a turn when the Thief Lord is offered a job to steal a mysterious but seemingly ordinary item in return for a great sum of money. This was one of my favorite stories growing up, but I had forgotten a lot about it. But since this book deals with what it's like to be a child and why they are important, I remembered the feelings I had while reading it the first time. And those feelings were strong, as you'll probably notice. To give a little bit of context, the book was written by a German author called Cornelia Funke and was published in year 2000. It's a children's book and has fantasy and adventure in it. The book shows what it's like being a child and what it's like to want to be an adult, a feeling that is probably pretty universal. Cornelia Funke worked as a social worker before and apparently wanted to write about children's resilience in difficult times. I think she has done a wonderful job of writing from the perspective of children and emphasizing the importance of them. So first of all, the way she writes is magical and captivating. She creates a world that shows childlike wonder and gives the kind of feelings that will turn into nostalgia as we grow up. She makes you want to know what happens next in the story. Secondly, she reminds us adults how we have forgotten what it's like to be a child, and sadly how adults can treat children like a nuisance or something unimportant. Children or teenagers can often be belittled or treated unfairly because they wouldn't understand. Of course, adults need to protect children from things that are harmful for them, but I think what I'm trying to talk about here is, for example, being blamed for adults' mistakes or not recognizing children's feelings or struggles. In the midst of difficulties that these kids face in this story, they still find adventure and beauty. And just to mention quickly, I thought it was a nice little detail that the adult characters gave small glimpses of their own childhood, emphasizing the change or similarities in themselves. So, going back to the two perspectives that I have gained now. One is being able to relate to the unfairness and want of adventure when I first read it. And another is of feeling compassion and understanding more deeply what is going on with the kids. Some might say, Maya, it's not that serious, it's a children's book, it's meant to entertain, but I truly believe that we can also learn something from this story. What really resonated with me when I was younger was the feeling of adults looking down on kids and thinking that their opinion doesn't matter, even though the issue would be revolving around them. I really disliked it when adults would say or indicate things like, oh, I wish I could be a kid again, and you're too young for this, and etc. Even the word child was something I didn't like to be called by. It kind of had a negative image in my mind. So a similar idea goes around in this book. A child playing an adult, for example, smoking, because they want to be an adult, because people around them couldn't see the struggles they had gone through by themselves, and that might be the only way that the children can gain the respect of adults. And another reason that is completely understandable, adults can do almost anything they want. But let's stop and think about it. Being called a child is not a bad thing, and actually being a child is not a bad thing. The only reason the word might have a bad image in a child's mind is probably because some adult made it so. The kids in the book are all betrayed by adults in one way or another, and it's obvious that because adults didn't provide them a safe environment, the only way they could create safety for themselves is by being an adult. So, okay, I hope I didn't make that sound like a little therapy session. You should know that this book is not gloomy at all. It's adventurous, has funny characters, and I think it's a perfect read for children and teenagers especially. This book has light and yeah, it's just a really fun read. Also, I think this book is a perfect introduction or a stepping stone into fantasy genre if you have kids who are interested in reading. This was just my little insight into this book with two perspectives, one from a child's and one from an adult's perspective. I would love to hear yours and the reasons why you enjoyed this book. So please let me know if you thought something similar or disagreed. Like I said, I would love to have a conversation about it with you. Moving on and talking about fantasy. For a couple months now, I've been really craving to read Lord of the Rings. But I just read it last year, so I'm kind of saving it. And yeah, if you want to check my review on it, it was actually the very first video I made to YouTube, and I will link it down below. But since I'm really wanting to read fantasy, my next read is going to be all the books from Narnia. Let me get the book. I said book because I have it in this one giant book form. It is beautifully disintegrating. Look at that. Probably should fix it. What I mean to say is I hope you will read it with me. I have read the first book 2 or 3 times, and the movies I've seen like 1,000,000 times. They are my comfort movies. I love them so much, and I've mentioned it before in this channel, but I have cried very, very hard because I can now go to Narnia for real. And that was not even that long ago. So, and one more thing that I would like to talk to you about is, since I already gave a glimpse into my thoughts 15 years ago, lately I've been worried about my joy of reading or being able to immerse myself in the world. I just noticed that for me it's much easier to have or do those things with specific types of books like Anne of Green Gables or Little Women, probably a children's book, and also fantasy I really enjoy. Yeah, I think especially with Great Expectations, I noticed I oh my goodness, trying to find the words. I can appreciate it and see the value in it. I really enjoyed doing a review on it too. But I don't think I truly enjoyed it. So my question, or what I'm pondering about for the reason, is this. I have 3 and I have them written down. So one, since I'm still learning to be well read, I just have to get used to more difficult books, sort of train myself, and I'll eventually enjoy them. Number 2, so when I was younger, I used to read a lot. Then I had a huge gap, like years, And then 2 years ago, I started reading again. So maybe I'm comparing my reading experiences from before to now. And yeah, one thing is clear. When you're a teenager or a child, it's so much easier to immerse yourself into a world and forget what's happening around you, which is wonderful. I used to read books and see everything, literally everything, like a movie in front of my eyes, and I would wake up 30 minutes or an hour after to like a new page number. I didn't even remember flipping the pages. So I really miss that. And yeah, I'm just wondering if it's the difference between reading as a younger person and reading as an adult. Number 3, and lastly, maybe I'm just, oh, sorry, Mike. I'm just wired to be nostalgic and sentimental, and I'm learning what types of books I actually enjoy. And there's nothing wrong about not absolutely loving all the classics. Well, I agree with the last one anyway. These are the thoughts I've been having lately. What do you think about it? I thought since I'm documenting this journey of me becoming well-read, I might as well share my thoughts during the process and yeah, what I have learned. I also want to thank everybody who has followed me, liked my videos, commented, watched. Thank you so much for your support, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you. I know I probably should post more often, so thank you for being patient with me. Alrighty, thank you so much again, and till the next adventure. Bye bye! Here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. Me or okay. Okay. はい、できたよ。